Hi there folks, Borislav247 here with another Days Gone video. And this video folks is a special one because I am very proud to say that I have now managed to absolutely destroy the entire South Hordes easily. And when I say easily folks, I am talking about methods that will allow anyone to take out these hordes. Even if you're not very good at this game, where the hordes scare you to death, trust me folks, my methods will make this as easy as it gets. Now, there are 13 official hordes that reside within the Highway 97 region, and a further 3 official hordes that are located at the Crater Lake region. All of these hordes will be shown. As well as this folks, I'm also going to include a stealth option for all of these 16 hordes, just to give people an extra option should they wish to avoid the hordes completely. And as well as this folks, at the very end of the video, I'm going to include a further 4 hordes. These consist of 2 main days mission game hordes, a side mission horde that is hugely important, and the last horde is a respawnable one that resides at the back of an ambush camp. So folks, basically in a nutshell, what I'm going to show is a great number of very good and unique ways in which to take out every single one of these hordes. Now, I will provide an awful lot of additional information for each and every one of these hordes. Horde size especially is always important. Whether they're taken on during the day or night is crucial, because this video does differ to a lot of my previous ones in the fact that a lot of these hordes are taken out at night because it basically opens up new avenues and new locations. Because at night, folks, the hordes, as you well know, don't stay in their caves, they get out and roam about, so they are at their feeding grounds and they are at their drinking grounds. And this provides for some fantastic ways in which to take them out. As well as this folks, I will provide any other additional information that you need to know about these hordes, especially in regards to some of them will be locked until certain things are done and whatnot. I'll explain all that over the course of this video, folks, so let's get to it. Right, folks, the first horde is the infamous Mount Bailey horde, located in the Crater Lake region, and I am taking them out at night time at their feeding ground. Now, as you can see, folks, they are already there. If you want to make this job a little bit easier, simply appear at night when they are not there. And then you have the time to get up this tree and then wait for them. I'm choosing to not do that. By not waiting, you only get one shot at this, because if you don't climb this tree successfully, you've got the horde on you. I like to get to that spot basically where that broken branch is pointing at Deacon's Head. Once I am there, I know that I am untouchable. And from here, folks, it really is a nice easy job. Now, it's worth pointing out as well, folks, I didn't actually discover this unique location. I was informed of this one by a gent by the name of Chris White, so thank you very much for this discovery, my friend. I have made another video on this, but I am choosing to use this method simply because it is that good. Now, you can use throwables on them, and rest assured I'm going to, because it's 300 strong, it's going to take quite some time to take them out with gunplay, whereas a napalm molotov on them here will do the job very nicely. Now, this is something else to point out. If you first arrive at Crater Lake, this horde will be available to take out straight away, but you will not have the use of napalm molotovs. So you will have to use other methods. Normal molotovs are fine, but they don't kill that many freakers. Grenades and pipe bombs, I strongly advise you to avoid, because they will fire you straight off that tree with a blast. Basically, if you want to take out this horde very early, folks, just gunplay. Just make sure you have plenty of ammunition. But as you can see, folks, from a demonstration here, this is a fantastic way to get 300 very hassle-free ears for use at the shops that you can use to buy items. And that's it, folks. That is the easy method for taking out the Mount Bailey horde. Right then folks, on to the stealth option I recommend for the Mount Bailey Horde, should you want to take them out with stealth. And just for the record folks, I strongly disagree with taking out this horde in any way, shape or form by stealth, because the easy method saves you hugely on your resources and is just as easy as the stealth option. Another tip folks, just demonstrating right now, if you're going to take out one of these hordes with stealth, make sure that any surrounding freakers on their own are taken out first. That way you will get very few problems. And that's the reason why I changed very quickly from gunplay to melee, because I realised that the gun didn't have a suppressor on it. Anyways folks, I will point out very briefly the advantages of this before letting it all play out. The advantages of this particular location are you're at great height and you have a good distance away from the horde, so you are very unlikely to get discovered here. However, that is where the advantages end for taking out this horde with stealth. I really can't stress this enough folks. It pains me the amount of resources that you have to use to take out a horde this large when you're in this particular area. And also, as I mentioned before, you have the ability to take out this horde as soon as you get to the south. If you go for this horde straight away though, you do not have the luxury of the napalm molotovs. Everything else will be at your disposal, but the napalm molotovs will not. So bear that in mind as well folks. So I'm just going to let this play out until near the end of the carnage, and then I'll get back to doing a little bit more commentary on it when I've just about got them all done. Right folks, I'm pleased to say that this horde is just about taken out, but I'm just using an attractor bomb to get the majority of them that can be brought over. And the last few for this horde folks, I'm just going to break cover and take them out with gunplay, because they are so far away now that the ones that haven't come over have not come over for good reason, because they are just busy doing other things. Yep, as you can see here folks, the majority of them now that are left are either by the water or in the water. So it's a nice easy takeout job here now, and finally get rid of this lot. There we go, job done. If you do want to take out this horde with stealth, that's how you do it folks, but honestly I would not recommend it. Okay, on to the Rimview Ranch Horde. Located in the Crater Lake region also. This horde is 150 strong, and I'm going to be taking them out from their daytime location. So it's basically in the cave area, which is usually where they are based, a cave or a tunnel. Now, this method works purely on intelligence, folks, because it really is all about horde manipulation. I'm placing the bike there for good reason. It is actually going to act as a deterrent for the horde getting into that building quickly. because I can't stress this enough, folks, the bike is very quickly becoming one of the most underrated weapons in the main Days Gone game. And over the course of this video, you'll see a good few examples of why. Now, the weapons that I have are all pretty good. I have the Chicago Chopper, the MG55, and the SMP9. But the main things that I require for this are a flashbang. And worth noting, folks, if you come to this area and it's the first time you've ever taken on this horde, there will actually be an infestation nest in the way, which you will have to take out first. I have already taken out this horde before, so I don't have that problem. But just looking to attract their attention, then I'm going to take out one or two. I'm just keeping the gun going just basically to get the whole of the horde out of there. Next thing I want to do is a smoke bomb over to my left. I'm going to come off that area, then I want an attractor out pretty much about there. What this does, folks, is it keeps the horde coming, but it slows them down enough so that I can do what I am now about to do. I'm heading around the back of this house, using this area to get up and getting round to here very quickly. If you get to this location before the main horde have got to the house, you won't get too much in the way of surprise attacks around the back. And that's the beauty of this. The bike is now holding them up, and I'm going to hit them hard with a napalm Molotov. If you don't have any of these, folks, it's no problem. Just make sure that you crouch down and you can use your grenades, pipe bombs, and it will basically have the same effect. You will take them out very quickly. The horde is only 150 strong. You will see after this straight away, and I will highlight this because I do actually have survival vision available to me here. If you don't need to worry about it too much. You can generally tell when you're down to very low levels of freakers by the amount of noise that you're hearing. Once you're hardly hearing anything, you know you've pretty much just about got them. So at this point now, I have the luxury of being able to come away from the house and just wait for the last of the freakers. There we go. I was wondering where the last one was, but there we go, folks. That's how easy that horde can be taken out when you do it intelligently like that. Right, folks, here is the stealth option for the Rimview Ranch Horde. Now, it takes place during the day, the same as the easy method, and I'm going from the same location, which is why I've not brought up the map on this particular run here. So I'm starting off with a flashbang, as I normally do, and from here I am just going to quickly follow that with an attractor. You will notice in a lot of my stealth methods, folks, I don't like using that many attractors because they are a very valuable commodity, so I do like to use them sparingly. You generally find once a horde is out that you can get them bunched up with larger bangs. The only reason I'm actually going with a napalm Molotov here is because they are quite well congregated with them just coming out of the cave area. Now, for anyone who doesn't have the luxury of using napalm Molotovs, that's okay. Just go with your other throwables, which will be grenades, pipe bombs, Molotovs. They will all do the job nicely. Grenades especially, because when you throw one into the group and the grenade goes off, the bang from the grenade automatically attracts a whole bunch of freakers to that spot, and you can follow up with another grenade. That method I do show in more detail in some of the other stealth runs. But for this one, they're not far off done. I'm just using one or two Molotovs at the end, which also do attract them. Very handy when you don't have very many freakers left, because Molotovs, especially the normal ones, they don't do that much in the way of damage. When they're highly bunched, they'll kill about 15 to 20. Now, I've only got one left, so it's going to be gunplay. I don't have to break cover. But that's it, folks. That is a very nice, easy way to take out the Rimview Ranch Horde with stealth. Right, next up is the Groose Gardens Horde. It's 125 strong, and this horde is based in the Highway 97 region. And the reason I'm showing this one so early in the video is basically because when you first arrive in the south, as soon as you're able to access Highway 97, this Horde is available. It's one of 3 that you can instantly have access to, and a 4th becomes available fairly soon afterwards, but it requires a mission to be completed first. Now, there's a Marauder there, so this is an extra problem I've just got to take care of here, and quietly, because the Horde are just across the road. Now from here, basically it's quite a simple process once you're onto the roof of the building that I'm beside here. But you've got to drop down onto the fence line. And yep, I make an absolute mess of that the first time. But as long as you're quiet, the Horde will not be alerted. Once you're onto the fence line, just nip over. And from there, you are untouchable. And it's worth knowing, folks, I didn't actually come up with this particular method for taking out this Horde. I actually seen this from a YouTuber that goes by the name of CZ Jace. Did this one quite some time ago. But I just wanted to show it because it is a very, very good method. However, after this, I'm going to show another easy method. And trust me, the one that I've come up with is, in my opinion, a lot better than this because it is far, far simpler. And you'll see why when I show it. But basically, once you're onto this section, you can just go nuts with the gun. You can use resources and whatnot if you like, grenades, pipe bombs, whatever you feel you are most comfortable with taking out the Horde. But personally, in areas like this, I always think it's best just to go with gunplay and save your resources. But there's not much left to this Horde here. At this point, I could come off the roof and just take them out with gunplay on the ground. But I'm just going to lure them out, and I'll just take them all out from up here. And it should be just about done that, folks. There we go. Job done. That is the easy method number 1. There is a far better one coming up though, folks, that I really badly want you to see. Right, and folks, on to method number 2 for the Groose Gardens Horde. Now this will take place at night, and as you can see from the map location, it is basically where this Horde goes to drink. And from here, folks, it's a nice easy climb up to the top of this vehicle. Now when you're here, I'm not exaggerating when I say until you actually fire one of your guns, they are not going to have a clue as to where you are. So I'm going to take this opportunity just to basically reduce their numbers before I get them coming over to my position. And even when they do, you'll see the beauty of this position, just how good it is. There we go, I've probably taken out close to 50 at this point, so now I'm letting them know exactly where I am, but they have a number of points where they basically congregate en route to you. They have to do an awful lot of climbing to get anywhere near you, and this is the beauty of this area. In fact, once they get to this section, they've got to climb up, and that's just to get onto the first car. From there, they've then got to make another climb in order to get onto the fire engine. And then, from there, they've got to make another climb in order to get onto the truck that I am currently on. If they get that far, they've got a fighting chance of getting to you. They basically don't stand a chance. This area is that good. And look at that, folks. How easy is that? With very limited resources used as well. Right, folks, on to the stealth option for the Groose Gardens Horde. And you guessed it, folks, it's going to take place in the same location as what I showed for easy method number 2. Because as I stated before, once you are into this particular spot, you are invisible to the Horde below unless you use gunplay. And for this, it's a stealth run, so I've no intentions of using any gunplay. I'm basically going to start with an attractor bomb. Once that has gone off and the rest of the Horde comes over to investigate the bang, I'm going to hit them with 3 grenades. That'll basically lower their numbers. Then I'm going to go with another attractor bomb, and after that finish off whatever's left with a Molotov. Or 2 if need be. Now, the beauty of this position, as well as being invisible to the Horde, is this. You are safe from breakers, you are safe from reachers, you're safe from screamers. They have to be very close to even see you, and even if they do, they still cannot get to you. Even odd freakers that are going about have to be very close to spot you, and even then it will take them quite some time to get to your position. And there we go. There was one freaker down there and he's just run into the flames to get the job done for me. And there we go, folks. How easy is that? That is one of the best stealth options you will get in this entire game. Right then, folks, on to the Chemult Station Horde. This is the second Horde on the Highway 97 region that you can take out as soon as you arrive at the region. And I'm basically looking to take them all out during the day, and I'm going to take them to that very location that I highlighted on the map. I start off basically by doing a drive-by. The bike is so important for this. Firstly, because you're doing a very safe drive-by and you're getting the entire Horde's attention. That is very important for where I'm taking them to. The bike then is also used very, very handily for getting across that river very quickly. And from there you will see, folks, the entire Horde will start trying to get over to you via that spot every time. Which basically means you can go nuts with a gun, because until they actually get near you, they're not exactly sure where you are. The rock that I've managed to get up onto, you can only get onto via the way that I showed in the video. And trust me, it's usually a rule of thumb that if you're struggling to get up to a particular location, so will the freakers. And as you can see here, folks, they're all just coming over this way, and it's just a nice easy pick-off job. No extra resources required, it is just quite literally that easy. So, without any further ado, on to the stealth option. Right then, folks, if you really feel the need to take out this Horde via stealth, this is the way that I suggest that you do it. It's going to be taken out again during the day. There is a very, very nice location that I have in mind for doing this, because it does provide quite a bit of protection. As well as this, it gets you quite close to the Horde, and at the same time the Horde is very limited as to any strays that will possibly come over and give away your location. And it's right here, folks. This really is a fantastic spot because it gets their attention straight away. I'm going to start with an attractor, and then I'm really just going to go to town with grenades. This is a method I use extensively when taking out the Hordes with stealth play. You're basically looking every time when that first grenade goes off, you will always find that the Horde will basically go in towards the blast, and you just make sure you're ready to fire the next one very quickly afterwards. It saves on your resources in terms of attractors, because I really don't like to have to go with the attractors until they are starting to get near the end, where they're more likely to move away and become more difficult. You really don't want to be firing all your resources into one Horde at a time. And there we go, folks. As you can see, nice clean way to take out this Horde with stealth. Right now, folks, on to the third and last Horde that is instantly available as soon as you arrive in Highway 97. It's the Lobert Drawridge Horde. It's 300 strong, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to take out. And this is the easy way to do it, folks. It is a variation on what I have done in the past. I have done a run very similar to this, but this is where it all changes, and it's in the setup. As opposed to trying to get access to the other side, I use the bike in that very specific spot to get to this location here. And from here, folks, I'm untouchable. So it's just a case of I can go nuts with resources, which I will do to a fashion. You do have a fantastic option to take out a large number of this Horde before they even get anywhere near you. And on this particular run, that's precisely what I intend to do. Now, as I've mentioned on some of the other Hordes, especially if you're first arriving in Highway 97, you will not have the use of napalm molotovs instantly. like I do here. I have the luxury of using these, which do take out large amounts of the freakers, but you can still take out this horde very, very easily, even if you don't have the napalm molotovs when you are in this location. Just make sure to stock up on a few grenades before coming here, and even if you don't have grenades and whatnot, you can simply take them out with gunplay. It will take a bit longer, but even if you don't have the likes of the Chicago chopper that I do here, I also have an MG55, but when you first get here, you will have access to some pretty good guns straight away. Most people will have at least the MG45. You will very quickly be able to get your hands on an RPD. Really, the gun option is never a bad thing, and the beauty with being at this location as well, with the bike up there, if you do happen to run out of ammunition, you can simply restock. So this method really does have so many advantages. And as you can see, folks, I'm just taking my time here. It's I can actually manipulate the horde as well, which I'm going to do very soon. If you just move a little bit further forward, there we go, bring them into the play. And again, it's just a nice easy mop-up job here. This really is as easy as it gets. In fact, easier than the previous method that I had shown, where you have to explode a barrel, which is on the opposite side of this area, and then precariously make your way across to the area in which to start all this. This eliminates all that, and as you can see, this was just about done. Yeah, that one was making life a little bit difficult, but there we go, folks. That is the joint largest horde in the Highway 97 disposed of easily. Okay, on to the stealth option. Right then, folks, on to the stealth option for the Lobert Drawridge Horde. Now, it will take place during the daytime because there is a fantastic location that will get this job done. Now, worth noting, folks, and I think people will have already seen this throughout one or two of the other hordes that I've been taking out, I do have the luxury of survival vision here because I'm playing this on hard 2. So I can see a little bit better where the hordes are, but for taking them out this way, you honestly don't need to be seeing where they are. I am showing everybody on screen just so that you can get a good idea exactly of how the action's basically going to play out. But trust me, folks, if you're doing this on survival 2, just get into this spot here and then just start throwing the items where I am throwing them, and this is a very easy job indeed. I'm using napalm molotovs at the moment, but as I mentioned before, if you're taking on this horde very early, just grenades, pipe bombs, molotovs will do the job nicely. And again, I'm using the grenade trick here. I've actually stopped using the survival vision here purposefully, just to show you that it's not a problem. You can just keep on going with the carnage that's taking place down there. As long as you don't stand up and show yourself, you're never going to get discovered here. And as a failsafe, if they do, you have an incredible amount of options from this area in which to take out the horde if you are seen, because they really do have quite a long way in order to get to your position. But as you can see, folks, I'm just about done with this horde here. It is a nice option to have, the stealth option, but honestly, when you have such a good easy method available to you, again, it's one I would just recommend go for the easy option every time. Right, folks, the next horde I'm taking out is the Chemult Community College Horde. 125 strong. I'm going to be taking them out during the day. The bike will play a crucial role in taking them out in this manner. Now, it's worth noting, folks, that this is the last horde that you can take out before the end of the Days Gone main missions. are completed. Because of the 13 in the Highway 97 region, only 4 of them will ever become available, and this is basically the 4th. However, also worth noting, folks, that a mission has to be completed where you go to the college before this horde will be unlocked. But anyways, on to the method, folks. I've just done a drive-by, quite literally looking to get the entire horde's attention. Once I know I've got them, I'm heading to this location here. A very slow drive up this rock face, and once I'm at the top there, I know I've got them. I just head over to this section of the rock, then move them around. As I've shown in a previous video, it's very easy to do. And from here, folks, it is just taking them out nice and easy. Even their World War Z style tactics where they use each other to get to your position, it doesn't work for them here. You're far too high up for them to have any effect that way. Now, you don't have to use any of your resources. I'm just using a napalm Molotov here just to make the job a little bit quicker, but honestly, folks, it is so easy taking them out just with gunplay because they are just located so conveniently below you. And that's it. That horde is taken care of nice and quick. Okay then, folks, on to the stealth option. Right then, folks, on to the stealth option for the Chemult Community College Horde. And I will be honest, folks, you're spoilt for choice when it comes to particular spots in order to do this. For myself, I'm going to take them out during the daytime. They generally don't move very far from this particular area during the day. They are out and about, but they are all congregated pretty well at the same time. Now, this is the area I like to basically do all the damage from for a couple of reasons. The first is you are getting fairly close to the horde, as you can with a lot of the other areas. But the second reason is that you do have a lot of obstacles in the way between the horde and yourself. So if you do get any that are roaming freely and start to get a little bit closer, they do have a number of obstacles to negotiate before they get to yourself. So I've just started off with a tractor, not even a flash bang required this time because the horde is so close by. And from here I'm just using the grenade method. Quite simply, every time that the grenade's gone off that I've just thrown, get another one fired in straight away. And this usually takes up the numbers quite well. Now at this point I'm really looking now to just get them a little bit closer, and I'm probably going to hit them with a napalm Molotov. Depending on when you decide to take out this horde in the game, you may already have the ability to use the napalm Molotovs. If you're choosing to take out this horde very early, as soon as they're unlocked, then no, you won't have the use of the napalms, but not really an issue, especially not with this horde. And of course, it's another horde where I would say, is there really a need to take them out with stealth when the easy option is so good? Yeah, in my opinion, no. But I did say I would show a stealth option for every one of these hordes. So this horde is just about done, and I don't think there's too many of them left now. So it's quite literally, I'm not going to break cover, but I am just going to use a weapon to take them out. And that's it, folks. That is the Chemult Community College Horde taken care of. Right, folks, on to the third and last horde in the Crater Lake region, which is the McLeod Ridge Horde. 150 strong, and I'm going to take them out at night. Now, worth noting, folks, the reason why I showed this one for the Crater Lake region last is this. You will not be able to unlock this particular horde until you have completed the Chemult Mission Horde in the main Days Gone game. So until you have that mission done, folks, you will never see this horde. But once you do, it's game on. And very unusually, I've got a little bit of an extra perk here by the way of a free attractor with that bear. I basically look to just get the horde chasing me, or the main pack of it, then double back, and I make an absolute pig's ear of this, but I include this run in this video just to basically show that even when things go wrong, it's still easy to do. And a couple of bloody sneaky freakers have actually managed to get to my position here, but no problem. I'm taking care of them first, and from here it is just a nice easy cleanup job. I'm not even going to bother with any of my throwables, they're not required. The Horde actually just run around this area, just basically make it nice and easy for you. And as you can see, I've already got most of this Horde taken out. I usually like to stay up here until I have most of the Horde done, and then I will basically come off this rock area and take out the last of them. Because there's usually one or two that don't quite get back down and are basically hanging around the area that I first took them out over to, and yet lo and behold. Okay, there's another one. There we go. And that's it, folks. That is the McLeod Ridge Horde taken care of extremely easily. So, on to the stealth option. Right, folks, for the stealth option, I am going to be taking out the McLeod Ridge Horde in their daytime location, and that is basically in their cave area. But this is how I'm going to get to it. I'm very close to the cave section, but I'm just going to use a bike in this case because I'm fairly confident they will not hear this. Just to get to this section right here. It's perfect, you're in the cover of the bushes here, you're far enough away from the cave, but at the same time you have an absolute prime location in terms of your view, so you can see exactly what's going on, and it's very rarely you get any of the Horde actually coming far enough over here in order to give you any trouble. And of course, every Horde that I'm going to show from this point onwards, you will have the use of napalm molotovs, so now you basically, your options are very good. Again, I'm just going with the grenade option, because as you can see, folks, that's virtually all of them taken out. They bunch up so nicely for you. And I do enjoy the gymnastics routine that they employ as well while you're taking them out. You know, there's one or two of them doing some nice moves there. But for this Horde, when it gets to the stage where there's just one or two of them left, I like to just forego the resources and just get straight to gunplay. Because you have nice cover here, they're having to come at you one way, and it just makes it so easy for you. And that's it, folks. That is the stealth option for the McLeod Ridge Horde. Done and dusted. Right, and folks, before moving on to the last 9 Hordes in the Highway 97 region, this is something very important that you all need to know. These last 9 Hordes are what I class as end-game Hordes. And that basically means, folks, that these 9 Hordes will not appear until you have completed the main Days Gone game. If you try looking for these Hordes beforehand, you simply will not find them. So just bear that in mind, folks, because I just don't want comments coming back to me afterwards saying, I've checked out these Hordes on the map, Boris, and I can't find them. That will be the reason. If you have not completed the main Days Gone game, you will never see these Hordes. And one final thing, folks, one of these Hordes is also doubly locked, but I will mention more about that when that one comes up. Right then, folks, the first of the 9 endgame Hordes that I'm going to take out is the Sagebrush Point Horde. It is 125 strong, as all of these last 9 are, and it's going to be taken out during the daytime. And here is how it's going to be done. After I realised that you can climb the trees, especially for the Mount Bailey Horde, it was only a matter of time before I started to look at the electricity pylons. And it turns out that some of them are climbable. And when they are, folks, they make taking out any of these Hordes an absolute doddle. So I'm going to start with this Horde by simply throwing a flashbang, as I normally do, just to get the Horde's attention. And then basically, once I actually hear them starting to come over, then I'm going to throw the attractor. The attractor is not so much in order to hit them with throwables. It's really just to make sure that the entire Horde does come over, because they will once you throw an attractor. And from there, it's not a problem because they are very aware of my location, although they can't touch me, but they are all heading towards me now, and from here it's just a nice clean-up job. You can use explosives if you wish, but I would only recommend you use napalm molotovs and normal molotovs. If you are using grenades and pipe bombs, you will get thrown off this area with the first one that you throw down, so definitely not worth doing. But also worth knowing, folks, at this stage in the game, unlike previously before where I would say sometimes you may not have access to napalm molotovs, you most definitely do have access to the napalm molotovs at this stage in the game. So all the hordes from here on in, you will basically have all the same resources as what I have for when shown on this video. And as you can see, folks, this horde is just about done. There we go, folks. That is another horde that bites the dust very easily. Okay, on to the stealth method. Right then, folks, on to the stealth option for the Sagebrush Point Horde. And this is also going to take place during the daytime because there is a fantastic location very close to the cave where the Sagebrush Point Horde reside. So just going to make my way up there, and as you can see, I've got plenty of items in which to get the job done here. And in particular, you'll find this will start to be a bit of a pattern with myself. I'm going to start to use the grenades a lot. The reason for this is, folks, because basically these are endgame hordes now, and generally at the end of the game, by then you will find that your trust levels for all the camps are at level 3. And when your trust levels are at level 3, you can buy your grenades. So I'm usually always packing them in a big way. But what I'm doing here is, folks, just before I start my assault, is basically setting a couple of remote bombs. Now, this isn't actually to do damage, it's just in case I get any issues with one or two freakers that get a little bit too close to me. Because if you do start to get any problems, you can always set off one of those and it will take the freakers away from you. But I'm starting with my usual. It's going to be a flashbang, closely followed by an attractor. And basically, once I get them out in the numbers, I'm just going to hit them hard with grenades. Grenades, when they are bunched up, will take out 30 freakers every time. And given that all these hordes now are only 125 strong, after the first 3 grenades alone, if they're tightly packed, and they usually are, then their numbers will be significantly reduced. I'm going to throw one more just for good measure here, and from here now, I'm ideally looking to either use a Molotov, or I'm actually having a look here, folks, yet they are starting to stray a little bit too much. A Molotov is only going to do so much here. Yeah, I think it's basically going to be an attractor for the slot here, and then from there I'm just going to use a pipe bomb. Certainly not going to waste another grenade because there's not 20 of them left now, so a pipe bomb should do the job. Very nice. And there we go, folks. That is the stealth option should you wish to use it. And it's not a bad option for this horde, folks. Right then, folks, the next horde is the Friendship Bridge Horde. It's located in the far south of Highway 97 region, in fact not that far away from the Lobert Drawridge Horde, and the area there marked with the triangle is exactly where I am going to take out this entire horde. Because if I just pan the camera around here, you can see over there, there is one of these wood traps, and it is that area that I'm going to use to take out this entire horde. So, in order to do this, it's a nice, easy method. I just want to get their attention. And actually, I've just realised, yep, take off the bloody suppressor so there's actually some noise. Because I want the entire horde heading over my way. As you can see, it just gives you a little bit of a chance to take out a few of them as well. Once I know they're all heading over, this is what I'm going to do. Climb up on this area, then climb up onto the wood trap. And from there, once I'm over into this corner here, that is it, folks. I'm pretty much untouchable. Especially as the Friendship Bridge Horde is only 125 strong. This method can actually also be used at the Sawmill Horde, if you so wish to do so. but there is the odd occasional freaker that might get to you at the Sawmill Horde purely because of their numbers. You will not get that issue here because there is, well, in comparison to the Sawmill Horde, there's very few of them. But, well, that's grand. I was kind of wondering what happened to the rest of them, but I don't know whether they had seen an animal or something like that and had gone off chasing that first, but yep, they've actually made the job even easier because they've just spread out the numbers nicely for me. So, and as you can see, folks, the beauty of this is you don't even need to use any of your resources. It's nice and easy and nice and quick. There we go. One of the easiest methods of all these hordes. Okay, on to the stealth option. Right then, folks, on to the stealth option for the Friendship Bridge Horde. And as before with the easy method, the stealth option also takes place during the day because there is a fantastic location just basically to the back of the barn that they're currently residing in that allows you to take out this horde very safely and very easily. So I'm just going to give myself quite a wide berth here as I'm going around because I don't want to attract them with noise of the bike. And from here, I'm not very far away from the location now. It's this bush area right here. In fact, as you can see, quite close to a feeding ground area, but that won't be required. It's just going to be the same as what I generally tend to do with these 125 strong hordes. Start off with a flashbang, just to get their attention, and then I go with an attractor. And there's two reasons for the attractor. The first is to get them out in numbers and get the entire horde's attention. And the second is obviously it groups them very nicely for the first grenade. And once the first grenade has gone off, I'm looking to throw another one just straight after. This is a method I use extensively when taking out any hordes with the stealth option. Because you normally find every time run about 4 grenades and you will take out most of the horde. So from here, I'm just going to use another attractor just to bunch the last of them. And as you can see, I have the luxury of survival vision because I'm playing on hard 2 here, level wise. And this should, I thought it should have taken out the entire horde. There must be another one lurking about somewhere, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I can see one inside the barn there. Yeah, that's the one. There we go, folks. That's a nice, easy option for the stealth method. Right then, folks, the next horde that I'm going to take out is the Juniper Ridge Horde. This is the easy method. It takes place at night, and as you can see, I'm actually at the Nero base that is right beside the Lobert Drawridge Horde, but it's not very far away from the Juniper Ridge Horde. But it's not the cave area that I'm interested in. That area there is their feeding ground, and the area just further up there, that is where they drink from. I am looking to actually get them at the feeding ground, and from there I'm going to take them out in quite a unique way. This one, folks, is just all about intelligence and the location of where I'm basically taking them out from. I'm showing myself basically starting from the Nero area for a good reason, because it's a nice checkpoint area in which to start, because if you don't manage to find the horde in either of these two areas here, I would just recommend that you restart a saved game from that Nero area. So I'm just checking to make sure they are definitely here. And there you go, folks. That's the horde right there. I'm not interested at all in taking them out from the water area for the easy method, because the location I am looking to take them all out from is right here. And it is this petrol station. You'll find out just how good a location this is when the action actually starts. But here is the thing, you have a huge height advantage, first of all. Secondly, it's quite a safe location because you're not going to get the likes of any breakers coming up to your position. In fact, you get very few freakers, and you certainly won't get any screamers coming up to your position either. The screamers simply don't climb. But basically, once I get to this location, it is a waiting game, but you will not have to wait long. They usually move from the watering grounds up to the feeding grounds fairly quickly, and yeah, I just wanted to get rid of that bloody thing because, yeah, that could create problems. Right, how are we doing at this point? I can hear them and I can see them. So this is how it's going to go down, folks. I'm basically going to start by getting their attention with some gunplay. And they won't react super quickly to this, but when they do, they're virtually all going to come up the one way in order to start to get to your position. So I can just merrily take my time here and just pick them off. I can see one or two of them actually start to get over now, so I'm not going to keep the gunfire going for too long here, because yeah, I probably should have moved before now, but not a problem. From here, I'm wanting to move to the other side of this petrol station, and I want to get right over to here. And the beauty of this, folks, is that the Horde, they're only going to get to your position from this area when trying to get to you when you're on top of the petrol station. And this is what makes taking out this Horde so easy. Because there is only one way for them to get up to you, and in order to get to you they have to climb, so they are slow. And all you have to do is just stay in this position and just take them out nice and easy. That's as bad as it gets here. I even had time to load the Chicago chopper again and then just take them out as easy as you like. That is the beauty of this position, folks. It doesn't always have to be about special glitchy ways in order to take out a Horde. Sometimes it's just a case of having a good knowledge of how the Horde actually operates and how they move around certain areas and surroundings. And that's exactly what makes this method so good. But it does have to be at night in order to have them in this area. Now, I'm not hearing too much now, and I'm not seeing too many of them coming towards me, so at this point it is just a cleanup job, because the ones that are not coming over, yep, you can see them over there, they're actually stuck. And I'll take out one or two of them from here, but really I'm probably going to have to end up going over there just to take out the last of them. But it's no hardship, and as you can see, folks, how easy was this Horde to take out? There's no pressure, no hassle, yet one's actually managed to get up to my position. Big deal. Yep. I'm just leaving the area via this way because I know that the freakers are coming out to my position via that way. It's just to make sure that I don't miss any. And from here, yep, there we go. This is the last of them, and there we go, folks. That is it. That is the Juniper Ridge Horde taken care of extremely easily, albeit at night. But as you can see, folks, it's all about the location. Right then, folks, onto the stealth option for the Juniper Ridge Horde. And as you can see, it's the exact same location as where I took them out for the easy method. And this is very simply because this location is so good. Basically, once you're up on top of the petrol station here, you are at a great height, and as it's another location that basically, as long as you're not using any gunplay, they're pretty much oblivious to you. And because of that, it just makes this job a very nice, easy one. So I'm going to set off a flashbang as I normally do. And then a slight change to what I normally do, I'm actually going to go with an attractor bomb. I have quite a lot of them and I don't tend to use them that much, so this isn't a bad time to get it going with one. And then it's just the same as what I normally do. I like to go with the grenades, and I said this before, basically because grenades at this stage in the game because these are the end game hordes, you will have trust level 3 in most of the camps, and when you do, you can buy grenades. They're only 100 credits if I remember rightly, so they are a fantastic weapon to use with these hordes, because they kill 30 of them every time as well, so yeah, makes the job very, very easy. And from here, folks, it's quite literally a case of just getting the last of them. And this should hopefully do it. Nope. Okay. Survival vision is telling me, yep, there is still a few there. So, where's the Molotov? I don't want a napalm Molotov because it's really a waste of a napalm Molotov. Napalm Molotovs will kill round about 60 if you have them grouped up well enough. The normal Molotovs are generally around about 15 at the most. And at this stage, okay, it's getting to be a little bit awkward now, so the last of them really I'm probably just going to mop up with the gun because they're virtually all taken care of with the throwables. I'm just having a look here. I can see something on the map that's moving about.
More bounties.
Yeah, it's always annoying when you do have one or two that are still basically stopping you from getting the entire horde taken care of. But and there we go. It's probably going to be this one. Yeah. There we go, folks. That is the stealth option for the Juniper Ridge Horde. Right, folks, the next horde I'm going to take on is the Gulch Horde. And this needs to be taken out at night time because I'm looking to take them out from either their feeding grounds or their drinking grounds. And I'm looking to get them towards that electricity pylon. Yes, folks, I do use the electricity pylons on 3 occasions for 3 of the hordes. And I will point out another horde potentially where you can also take them out using an electricity pylon. Although that particular horde I take out with another very good method. But anyways, folks, as you can see, this horde is not at the feeding ground at the moment, so I'm just making sure they're definitely at their watering area, and they are. Now this next part is very important, folks. Head up this way here. It's not difficult, but take your time. But you get to there, do not stop. You need to be higher up, round about, yeah. Where I am now is the ideal position you want to be, and the reason is this, folks, because this electricity pylon is on a sloped area, and it does make all the difference, because when the horde eventually does all come to you, they can knock you down if you are a little bit further down, even when you think you're safe. But you get to the area that I have shown and you'll have no trouble. So I'm just going to take the time here to basically pick off a few of them from a distance here, because I've got the MG55 and it's pretty damn good for the long distance shots. Now obviously I'm not going to get the whole horde running with this because I am a little bit too far away for that, but I'm just going to take the time to pick off a few of them now while it's nice and easy, just for a bit of fun. And then I'm eventually going to throw a flashbang. And trust me, folks, once they hear the flashbang and come running, then I should be able to entice the rest of the horde over here. And yeah, let's not hang about too long. Yeah, that's about as good as I can get without risking hitting the electricity pylon. You really just obviously want the throwing of the flashbang as far as you can get. So at this point now, getting a tractor out, and this should get them all running. And I'll take the time to take out a few while they're heading over. Not only that, folks, but basically once they get over to this position, then they will be made aware of whereabouts you are. And from there, you should get all the numbers that you need, basically right below you, to make this job a nice easy one. And here we go, they've finally caught on to where I am. And as I mentioned before, because you're basically taking them out from a spot that is untouchable, it saves hugely on resources. they congregate below you so nicely. Yeah. Nothing too difficult about this, folks. Truth be told, the only time it can get remotely difficult is if the Horde is actually at their feeding ground, which is just basically right below here. If they are at that, you can still do it this way, but you will only get 1 or 2 attempts to get onto the electricity pylon before you have the entire Horde on you. So bear that in mind, folks. But if you're really worried about that, then just basically hide and wait until the Horde start to move down to their drinking area, and then basically then use the time to get onto the electricity pylon. So as you can see, folks, I didn't get quite the whole Horde there, so I've just basically give them a few shots. I'm heading back up again, nice and easy, and I'm beginning to wonder whether there was any need for that, because there is so few of them left. I probably could have just taken them all out with gunplay, but as I'm basically wanting to show a reasonably easy method, I thought, yeah, just show that it's easy to get back onto the electricity pylon. But I do want that bloody screamer out of the way, because that is going to send rather a lot of them otherwise over to my position. But worth bearing in mind, folks, that if you just want the extra free careers, then just leave the screamer and you'll get a few extra free careers out of it as well. But there we go, folks. That is that Horde done and dusted. Okay, on to the stealth option. Right then, folks, here is my stealth option for the Gulch Horde. It is going to take place at night, and very importantly for this one, I actually want them at their drinking location, because there is a fantastic area very nearby that really does afford you quite a lot of protection, and at the same time it's close enough that you can take care of this Horde very, very quickly and easily. So I'm just going to park the bike for this because I don't want to alert them. I'm not saying my bike is the noisiest, but yeah, there is always the chance that they can hear you or spot you. Just don't want to take the chance. It's much easier just to take a minute or two of your time just to very carefully make your way over to the location. And you can see it right here, folks, now pretty much in the center of the screen. It's that bush area right down there. You are afforded a bit of protection because there is a stony area in the way there, so you're not really going to get much in the way of freakers actually coming over to your position. And because they're positioned so nicely now, here, I don't even need to bother with an attractor or a flashbang. I can just get straight to it with the grenades. This is going to be a very quick job indeed, folks. This is actually probably one of the few times where the stealth option is probably actually easier than the easy method. So if you're just wanting it as hassle-free as it gets, you won't get much better than this, folks. Because this Horde is, there we go, just how quick and easy was that, folks. So yeah, that is another one of the Hordes where I thoroughly recommend the stealth option. It's a pretty damn good one. Right then, folks, on to the Solomon Hill Horde. As always, the endgame Hordes, they are all 125 strong, and that is the location. I'm going to be taking this one out during the day, and basically I'm going to entice them out of their cave, and I'm going to make some outrageous use of the surroundings. I'm not going to spoil it, folks, until I actually get them going towards the area that I want them to, because this one it's quite clever and it's also quite cheeky. So I'm looking to try and get them out in big numbers. Yep, there we go, that's pretty damn good. So once I've got them out in their numbers, I'm going to head over here. Very important, when I get to the edge of this part here, dive roll. Now I'll land on this area. Now watch, because one or two of them will manage to get down, because I have quite a number of them heading towards me. But from here, they will all, or the rest of them I should say, will head around and they'll come down and try and get you from here. And they basically struggle to get near you. The World War Z tactics will occasionally get one or two that can get close enough to give you a slap, but that's about as bad as it gets. This is just a, a fantastically ingenious way of taking them out, I have to say. So it's one of my favourites, because when I first basically tried this, it was like, God, this has worked so well. So at this point, folks, I know I have most of the Horde there. Clearly don't have them all because I don't have the notification yet telling me that I've taken them all out. But it's going to be rinse and repeat if there is still large numbers. I don't think there is going to be. I think this is going to be a case of, well, here we go, folks. You can see now, I've got the luxury of survival vision. There's only 5 of them left. And there we go, folks. A very unique way in order to take out the Solomon Hill Horde. Job done. Right, and folks, here is the stealth option for this particular Horde, the Solomon Hill Horde. And honestly, folks, I mean, you can take them out doing it this way, but when you see how good and easy the easy method is, do you really want to? This for me is just a waste of resources. However, I did say I would show a stealth option for each and every one of them, and this is a pretty damn good one because the bush area is in a good location. If you do happen to get any of them coming over to your location from here, you've got time to do something about it, but really you shouldn't have any problems here at all. They generally tend to go more over to the left as opposed to heading down the hill towards the location I'm currently in. So it's just, I've started off with an attractor and then it's just rinse and repeat with the grenades. As I've said numerous times, basically grenades at this stage in the game you can buy from the vendors very cheaply, 100 credits each time, so you can load up on those bad boys every time before heading out for a Horde. And at this stage now I thought, well, just for a bit of fun I'll use a napalm Molotov. And this should take out most of them, if not all of them. There we go, all of them. And there we go, folks. If you do want a stealth option, that's certainly not a bad one, but personally I recommend the easy method. Right, and folks, on to the next Horde, or should I say Hordes, because this location that I'm going to basically go to is very unique. Basically, the Mount Scott Ski Resort Horde is the main Horde that I'm aiming for here, but the Solomon Hill Horde also drink from the same river, albeit a little bit further down. So, the location that I'm actually going to go to, and I am actually going to take the bike all the way there because it's quite important. I want the bike to be on this location. I'm basically heading right down this hill. You get to this area here, slow down, and then from here, just nice and slowly, over there, and then stop the bike. The beauty of this here is now, if I need any more ammunition, the bike is right there, so I can use it for that. But the Horde that I'm looking at right now, that is the Mount Scott Ski Resort Horde. And that is the one I'm ideally looking to take out. Now, you can take them out with gunplay, or you can take them out with your resources. They will come over to the areas if you start throwing attractors and whatnot, but they will simply have no idea of where you have come from. And quite simply because this location, folks, once you're in it, the Horde are absolutely oblivious to you. You are invisible. The only thing that the Hordes will react to is basically the sound of the gun actually hitting the grounds and any throwables. And as you can see here, I've got the Solomon Hill Horde heading over, so my main aim here isn't actually to take them all out, but you can do if you wish, or simply use some of the freakers from the Solomon Hill Horde as extra freaker ears. If you do have the patience and you want to, you can potentially just take out 2 Hordes right here. It's that simple, folks. Obviously, the Mount Scott Ski Resort Horde is much further away, but you can really take your time to pick them off. What I would tend to do if I'm looking to take them out this way is basically I would reduce the numbers of the Solomon Hill Horde, and when I got the Mount Scott Ski Resort Horde to very small numbers, I would basically get back on the bike, come off this location to get down onto the lower ground and take out the last of them that way. But I'm just basically going to have a bit of fun here, folks, and it's just a bit of target practice. Not only is it super safe, but it's also a good way of just practicing your aim. So I'm just basically going to let this play out here until I've actually taken out this entire horde, because it does take a little bit longer than normal, folks, but as you can see, it's a super safe way of doing it. Right, folks, at this point I don't actually have too many of the freakers left for the Mount Scott Ski Resort Horde, so I take the time to throw it on a tractor and basically also going to use it to try and get some of the Solomon Hill Horde, because at this point I'm just thinking, well, it's some free freaker ears, and at this point I also realise the last of the horde is basically in the water there, and that is it. That is the Mount Scott Ski Resort Horde done and dusted. Nice and easy, folks. Right, and folks, the next horde I'm going to take on is the Beasley Lake Horde. Now, I'm taking this horde out during the daytime, but it's worth knowing that there is a second easy method available that you can use, and I mentioned something about this before. This is basically another horde that you can potentially use the electricity pile on, which is to the left of my location here, in order to take out this horde, but you would have to take them out at night, because they need to go to their drinking grounds in order to get them within firing range, basically. But for this particular method, I'm just looking to get them all out, and from here I'm just quite literally just going to throw down on the tractor. It's just basically going to give me a bit of time to get to the location I need to be. Now, worth knowing, folks, sometimes there will be marauders in this area. If there is, just clear them out first before attempting this, but this is the area right here. This is a very similar method that I use to another horde that I take on a little bit later on, because I do know that when you get an area like this, you get afforded quite a bit of protection from that particular fence line there, because I know the horde simply cannot climb over it, and I use this to great effect with another horde as well. But as you can see, folks, when you're at this position, you have a number of points where this horde congregates or take their time to basically climb up, and you can pick them off at will, and eventually when I'm done with them, when they're making their way up to me, I just pick off the last ones that are still at the top here, because as you can see, it's nice and easy. They cannot get to me, and it's as easy as it gets to just pick off the last of them from here. In fact, truth be told, folks, I probably didn't even need to bother with the napalms that I threw at the beginning of this. It was probably overkill. I could have taken out this entire horde basically with gunplay. And that's it, folks. That is a very easy way for taking care of the Beasley Lake Horde. Okay, on to the stealth option. Right then, folks, on to the stealth option for the Beasley Lake Horde. And I'm basically going to take them out during the daytime, because it's a nice, easy location to take them out from. But first of all, I'm basically going to take the time to place a couple of remote bombs. And as I did so with one of the hordes before, I'm basically just using these just in case I need a backup option. Because sometimes the hordes can start wandering a bit, and if they start getting too close to your location, you ideally just want to have a nice loud bang that's going to attract them and take them away from you. And the thing is as well, folks, if you don't use the remote bombs, you can always pick them back up. So it's not a bad thing to have in play. That is, of course, as long as you don't blow them up accidentally, which I did on a previous run. But anyways, I'm going to start with the usual. It's a flashbang, just get their attention, and then basically, once they start to come out, I'll make sure I have an attractor ready, and then I'm just going to hit them hard as always with grenades and anything else that I feel like. So, yep, I've got 6 grenades. It's just a case of getting them out and just waiting. Once I feel like I've got the numbers there, and they most certainly are all there now. That's it, yeah, I've taken out one of the remote bombs, but yeah, that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. Now it's just rinse and repeat with the grenades, folks. Truth be told, I probably could have used the bush area that is a little bit in front of me, but you are afforded a bit more of protection by staying further back. As you can see there, I just purposely set off the remote bomb just to try and get them a little bit more bunched there. And it also takes them away from my position as well, which is no bad thing. So at this point in time, yep, I'm just going with another pipe bomb and another one for good measure. Again, at this stage of the game, pipe bombs you can actually buy from the vendors, so it's not really going out of your way to be using a few of these. And although I'm not actually going to break cover, I can see there's only 4 left, so I'm just going to take the time to take out the last of them with gunplay. And that's it, folks. That is a nice, easy stealth option for the Beasley Lake Horde. Right, folks, the next horde is the Cascade Lakes Rail Line Horde, and I'm looking to head to this location here at night time. Very important, because I'm basically looking to take them out from their drinking area. Now, if they do happen to be at their feeding ground, which is very close to this electricity pylon, just hide and wait until they move. But basically, I'm very fortunate that I know they're at the drinking area, so from here, I'm just going to head up the hill here. You want to be seeing those 2 vehicles, and then from there, it is this area here of this electricity pylon that you want to be climbing. And once you're up here, that's it. That's the hardest part of this all done and dusted, because attracting them to your position from here is a nice easy affair. It's just going to be a flashbang, and then from here they will come running. They're close enough that they are basically going to investigate, and then once I start with the gunplay, they will come running to my position. And I'll possibly get a few others because I can see a screamer down there, so yeah, there's going to be a few extra freakeries for sure. But this is basically the last horde, folks, that I show being taken out from an electricity pylon, folks. So I didn't want to overdo it too much. I thought 3 hordes is enough. You do have potential for 1 or 2 others. As I mentioned before, the Beasley Lake Horde especially, if you go to the Beasley Lake Hordes area at night time, you can basically use the electricity pylon that is beside their watering area, and that will do the job nicely for them. But this one is a very handy way of taking them out. There is other options actually available for the Cascade Lake Rail Line Horde, as they are very close to the Chemult area. And there is a method I show later on for the Chemult Mission Horde, which you can also use for this horde if you wanted to take this horde out during the day. But I thought this one is a fantastic one to show, because it's very easy to get to the position that you need to be. As always, with when you're on these electricity pylons, you can save hugely on your resources, especially if you want to keep all your goodies for the big 300 strong hordes. And at this point now, I'm just starting to get a bit bored, so I'm just going to lure the rest of them to a nice area where I can just throw a Molotov, and whatever's left at this point shouldn't be much. And there we go, folks. Again, another very nice, easy and safe way in order to take out a horde. Right then folks, so on to the stealth option for the Cascade Lakes Railline Horde. And it is in their daytime location, so it will be basically attracting them from the cave that they currently reside in. And there is a fantastic area that will get this job done nicely. There's a bush area right here, and you've got the luxury and protection of the river that's right in front of you. So from here, it's just the usual one flashbang. Again, I don't have a problem with using flashbangs quite a lot because they are readily available from the vendors, very cheaply I might add. And then basically from there I'm going to hit them hard with grenades. Again, something I can purchase very easily. And as you can see, every time I have 6 ready, so just getting the tractor to basically get them bunched up nicely, and from here it's just rinse and repeat with the grenades to get their numbers down. Every time when the grenade goes off, they'll automatically move in towards the bang area, and you just go with another. And when I feel their numbers are sufficiently low down, basically go with another attractor. And at this point, if I can reach them, I'm going to go with a napalm Molotov. Yep, nice. This should take out most of them. If not, no problem. Pipe bomb will certainly reach. And a little bit unusual there. They did start to move a bit. It was almost as if one of them thought they had seen me. But yeah, at this point now it's starting to get a little bit annoying. They've spaced out enough that using any more resources is going to be counterproductive and a waste. So there we go. Just not moving away from where I was at, but just taking the time to take out the last ones with gunplay. Right then folks, on to the last of the Highway 97 endgame hordes, and it's the Beaver Marsh rest stop horde. I'm taking it out during the daytime, but this is a very important piece of information. You must also have completed the mission called Just Doing My Job. It's a Marauder Camp Hunter mission. If you do not complete that, and then complete the main game, you will never see this horde. But anyhow folks, this is their normal location during the daytime. I'm looking just to drive by, get their attention, purposefully place the bike like that because it will just act as a nice deterrent for them, or more to the point, just a hindrance. As you can see, it bunches them up very nicely there. They will get past the bike, but it slows them down incredibly, and you can take that time to really go to town. And from there folks, when they get up to this top section, very similar to the Beasley Lake Horde, I have an area where basically they can't climb over, so they're just lining themselves up nicely to be annihilated nice and quickly. And that is how easy the Beaver Marsh rest stop horde can be when you choose to take them out like that folks. But do bear in mind that they are double locked. Right folks, on to the stealth option for the Beaver Marsh rest stop horde. I'm going to take them out again during the daytime, so I'm basically starting from the same direction, but this is going to go a tad differently because I want to take them out from the other side of this area, and obviously I want to do it via stealth, so I'm basically just driving straight through and getting a good distance away, basically far enough that they can't see me and they're just going to lose interest and head back to the buildings that they basically stay in during the day. So at this point I can just make my way slowly back up, get off the bike at this point obviously folks. The bike will attract unwanted attention. As you can see, they're still all out there very nicely, and the area that I want to get to is just right here. Again, the beauty of this area here is you have a slight piece of the environment that just protects you from any of the freakers that are wandering about. Nice when you can find areas that you just have that little bit of extra protection. So I've started off with a flashbang as always, and now I'm looking to get an attractor. I want their numbers over here so I can start the carnage. And yep, you guessed it folks, it's grenade time. Yeah, they are a little bit slow in all getting over here, so I'm just going to take the time to use another attractor because I just want to get them a little bit more compact, and then from here it should be a much easier job. Because the trouble is here folks, the Horde, they do all come over eventually, but they're coming over from a few building sections, so you don't always get quite as clean a job as what you would do with some of the other Hordes. And yeah, I'm just going to take the time here to bloody hit them hard with a napalm Molotov. This should take out most of them, if not all of them. And yeah, that's pretty much all of them. Anything that is left here ain't going to be much. And you know what the hell. I hardly ever use the normal Molotovs, so it's a handy one when there is so few of them. And there we go folks, that is the Beaver Marsh Rest Stop Horde done and dusted with stealth. A very good area to take them out, but personally I still prefer the easy method. A lot quicker. Right then folks, here is the first of the two main mission hordes that you will have to face in the south. Now, before heading down, you do get offered quite a lot of goodies. I strongly advise you to take them. Remote bombs, napalm Molotovs of course, because this is where you are first introduced to them, and there is also extra ammo for you. I will be perfectly honest, won't require a ridiculous amount of ammo given the way that I'm going to take them out, but if you want an easy way to take out this horde, and it's 300 strong folks by the way, this is how you're going to do it. Or this is certainly the easiest way in my view. And this particular horde folks, it's worth knowing that you have to take it on at night. You do not have an option on this folks. So I'm just parking up and I'm quite literally just waiting for this horde to move on a touch, because the majority of the action is going to take place at that small building that I just showed there. And because when I do lure the horde over to this area, I want to make sure that that particular small building is filled with canisters, petrol cans, whatever I can find. And the beauty on this location is that there is 3 canisters that I can use, and there is 1 petrol can. And truth be told folks, if I really wanted to go to town, I could just start to duplicate a whole load of petrol cans. If you want to know more about that, just check out one of my previous videos. In fact, it's quite a recent one folks, which I'll show you all about that, but I'm not going to bother too much with that while showing how to take out this particular horde. So this part of the setup folks doesn't really take too long. It's quite literally just a case of getting the items that you require, and then once I've got the 3 canisters and the petrol can in there, then I'm going to basically set 3 remote bombs. And a huge tip here folks, be very careful about the order that you place the remote bombs in, because the first one that you place down, that is the first one that will go off. So it's very easy to forget that in the heat of the moment. So it's just a tip folks, because I've made that mistake before, I'll be perfectly honest. But right, I know there's 1 petrol can over here, so this will be the last of the items that I want in there. Basically when they come over to this area, because of where I'm going to go, they will basically fill that hut big style. But right, remote bombs, said there was going to be 3, that's going to be the first, and then 1 inside and another one just outside, just for good measure. And that's it folks, that is the setup all ready for this horde. And this doesn't take long folks. So at this point I'm just heading over. The idea is I'm going to get their attention, get the entire horde running towards the petrol station area, and yeah, from there you'll see how the action plays out. So, just a little bit of gunplay here. Oh, Christ, they were on me quick there. Never mind, that's fine. It's got their attention. That is all I'm wanting. I am going to use a couple of attractors in this particular run. First one's going to be right there. All that does is basically gives me the time to get onto the roof of this area here, and also sets them up nicely for a grenade. The second attractor I'm going to use right here. In fact, truth be told, folks, I'll probably end up using a third at the very end of this run. But yep, attractors in place there. Now, the first remote bomb. After the first remote bomb's going off, all I'm interested in is thinning them out right now, because they do congregate on the side of the building here, and if you're not careful, you'll get a few coming up to your position. It is possible. This area is very good, but it is not untouchable. So I'm just trying to take care of the stragglers that are around the outside, and now it's it's the remote bomb time, and as you can see, I've taken out a few in there as well. At this point, I look to try and get to the very edge of this building, just to basically encourage some of the freakers to come out. And as you can see, it works quite well. You won't get all of them, but you will get the vast majority of them. So it's more gunplay at this point. And now, as you can see, the bar at the top of the screen there is telling me their numbers are severely depleted. So at this point, I do have the luxury of survival vision, and you son of a bitch! Yep, one actually managed to get up. Is there any more? No, there's not. Okay, at this point, folks, it's just a nice, easy finish job. I could jump off the roof and just take them out with gunplay, because you're lucky if there's 10 to 12 of them left. But I'm just going to do it this way. Get them out, one pipe bomb. This should take care of the lot. And there we go, folks. That is how the Chemult Mission Horde is taken care of. As easy as it gets. Okay, on to the second Mission Horde.
Hey, John! Get out of there!
What?
Get out of there now! There's a horde coming!
There most certainly is, folks, but trust me, it's not as bad as what it first appears. When you first start on this particular horde, you are facing the right direction in order to take care of them. Run over to this area here. I do have the luxury of survival vision here. So it's one attractor, and you want this attractor early, and then you're looking for a grenade. Basically, folks, this horde comes in two waves, and you want to take out both waves using the same method. One attractor and one grenade. You do this, folks, and this horde is as easy as it gets. So once I throw this grenade, I'm basically going to get ready with one of my weapons, just in case there's any survivors, but as you can see, nothing. Job done. Right then, folks, on to the side mission horde. This is a mission called Just Doing My Job, and it features a very large horde. Now, I'm quite literally just finishing up taking out all the bad guys in this particular area, and after this I'm going to set up for what is coming, because there is a huge horde that resides in this place. And take a look, folks, that's where they are. I do have the luxury of survival vision. They are 300 strong, and they are going to be coming at you as soon as you release that guy. So at this point, folks, I'm going to take the time to prepare for this horde, and I'm going to use a couple of mines placed in these two locations here, because that is the two locations that the horde is going to come screaming down at you from. As well as this, I'm basically just trying to find it here. I'm going to use a remote bomb as well, but I'm not placing it in here. This part is very important, because once the horde start coming at you, you want to head out this way. When you see those two barrels, look to your left. You can see a light over there. That is where you want to be heading. Now, the remote bomb will actually serve two purposes. The first is a very simple one. I'm basically going to lure the horde over to that area, and when I have enough of the numbers, I'm going to set the bomb off. And it'll take out a few, especially given that it is right beside a barrel. The second, however, is to act as a good guide, just in case, in the heat of the moment when the horde start chasing you, that you lose your bearings. You can actually see where that is placed on the minimap there on the bottom right of the screen.
Lobert, are you good to get out of here on your own?
Okay. All right. Oh. Thanks, man. I owe you my life. I'm heading back. I'll tell him what you did. I swear to you.
Just doing my job.
Right, now that the guy's gone, I know that this horde is coming at me, and they will be coming fast. So, I wait to see them drop down the mine shaft there, then I hit the first barrel that I can see. These two barrels I'm not bothered with. I like to keep them there just as a good indicator of where I need to be going. And I'm just looking to get to the safety of this area as quickly as possible. Once I'm in here, just a little bit of fire just to get their attention. I could hit the barrel off there with gunplay, but I'm not interested in that. I've got a remote bomb out there, might as well just use it. And from here, I'm just going to take the time to take out as many of the freakers as is possible, because they will congregate here for a short time. I'll just get survival vision on, and you'll see all of a sudden they seem to be running away, and at first you're sort of thinking, where the hell are they going? Well, all will become very clear. At this point, just head down this way. You will eventually come to another gap. Once you go through this, this is where the rest of the action is basically going to take place. Now, in this particular mission, you normally are just looking to get out of the cave. But given that this horde is 300 strong, it really is a case of why bloody waste the opportunity of getting 300 very easy free careers. Now, the horde at this point is very briefly preoccupied with the unexpected visitors that have basically appeared in the mines here. However, they won't be busy with them for that long. Once they have dealt with them, they will come back over to your position, and this is where you basically take them out nice and easy. Just make sure you're hanging over the edge here with one of your weapons. This is very important, because if you do, the horde will always have some of their numbers shown. Right, at this point, folks, I can see there's a great number of freakers arriving back after taking out the enemies in the mines. So that's good. At this point, I know now that I've got the rest of the horde now below me, so I'm going to take the time to use a couple of Molotovs just to lower their numbers a touch. And it's worth noting, folks, on this particular mission, you do not have to take out this horde. I am simply taking out this horde because it is 300 very easy free careers. In order to complete this mission, you basically just have to get out of the mine, and then basically the job will be done. But this is a video about taking out the hordes, and I'm sure as hell going to take out this horde in its entirety. So at this point now, I know the numbers are reasonably low. I'm just going to make the job a nice quick one now. Getting the tractor in place, just wait until they're all heading out. I know their numbers are roughly around 20 or less, so a pipe bomb will suffice. And let's just take a look now on the survival vision. Yeah, there's virtually none left, so that's it. I'm heading from my position, just get ready for the last of them. There's not many of them. And that is just about the job done. I can still hear something, so yep, I can see something on the minimap there. There's one of them still to come. And that's it, folks. All that you need to do now is collect the free careers. Job done. Right then, the very last horde that I'm going to show in the south is actually located behind the Spruce Lake ambush camp. Now, I'm taking this horde out at night, but it honestly doesn't really matter too much. You can do it during the daytime if you wish. It's just purely because of the fact that when I reached this camp it was night time that I'm doing it at night. But I'm looking to approach the camp from this particular direction for a couple of reasons. The first one is there is a marauder in this camp that has a sniper rifle, and if you come from the other side you will get spotted, but more importantly, this is basically the perfect location in order to make a shot at that target right there, and make sure you have a suppressor on the gun. That's very important because I don't want to give my position away to the marauders that are down below. And at this point, folks, I just now have to sit back and just let the Horde do its thing, because they have now been alerted, they are now coming into the camp, and they are now going to clear the camp out for me. So, I'll rejoin the action with the commentary as soon as they've just about finished their job.
Drifters you ambushed down there, huh?
Right then, folks, at this point I'm just going to move from my position, because although they haven't finished taking out the camp in its entirety yet, I want to be on the other side of that Nero building, and given that they are all on the far side, this is the perfect opportunity to basically move over to that area. Now, in order to get to the location that I want, I'm basically going to use a smoke bomb. I could be a little bit more patient and just wait until they've finished taking out the entire camp, which they now have done already, and wait for them moving over to the other side, and then just walk over to this area nice and easy. But I'm just going to speed up the action by using a smoke bomb. And once I'm up here, folks, I'm untouchable. Basically going to do the same as I did with the last Horde in the mines. Basically lean over this area and then just take them all out with gunplay. Because this Horde is only 40 strong, it won't take that long. Okay, at this point I'm not hearing too much more now in the way of noises, so I know I've just about got them all. So, I'm just basically going to head down, and yeah, I do make a mistake here. I try to dive roll off and then I realise, yeah, there's a ladder there, you can't do that, so I just basically hop over, and there's only one more left to take out. And that is it, folks, job done. As well as that, you also have the added luxury of the Horde taking out an ambush camp for you. Nice and easy. And there we have it, folks. That is all 20 of the Hordes in the south taken care of, as easy as it gets. I remember when the south Hordes used to be difficult. As always, folks, thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.